All right, so I have five tiers. S tier is pretty much like great out of the park. Those are nines, tens, maybe eight down here. A is above average, like sixes, fives, or no, not fives, sixes, sevens, maybe some low eights. B is middle of the road, inoffensive, not great, not bad. Fives, maybe fours, probably not fours. C is subpar. These are fours and your threes. These are like I read it and it wasn't good. It wasn't like it didn't offend me that much, but it wasn't good. And F is just what I'm gonna define it as is I am left with more negative emotions than I was left with positive ones. And I have them everything I've read here arranged alphabetically, but I think it would be hard to start on either end, so we're gonna go ahead and just move Dorohedoro into S tier to give you guys an idea of what I'm expecting because this series has everything. The world building is incredible, the art is incredible, the care that goes into the characters, everything feels so good. The paneling, God, this it's just incredible. The mystery, the way it builds itself, and it's just like it feels like it doesn't overstay its welcome either. It's so Dorohedoro is so good. Um, let's see. Blue Lock. Blue Lock, I feel like I'm going to give a low A to. I'm not ordering these as I'm putting them up, but Blue Lock is so funny because it's the only sports series I've ever kind of read, and it has some really cool moments that make me really excited, and it makes me like really, wow, oh my god, this is so exciting, and like stuff like that. But it's also, it has some moments that make it feel like it was written for middle schoolers, and it absolutely was, but there's something I can appreciate in that. And if it's not your thing to have teenagers threatening to kill each other over soccer and like being completely wholly serious about it, I wouldn't recommend it, but I think it's hilarious still. Let's see, we already have a Q High Shooter series up there. Die Dark, it's probably gonna end up in S tier. It's in its earlier stages right now. I think it's only about around like 46 chapters, but it's already really good. Shimada Death is so good. I love him as a character. The main character is a lot of fun. The mystery feels like I have no idea what's going on right now, which is cool. I like when stuff like that happens. I like when I have no idea what's going on whatsoever. Um, yeah, I'm pretty confident with S tier. It might be the bottom of S, but it's gonna stay there for now. Let's get Yu in here. I'm swinging between an A and a B. I think it's gonna go high B. I think I'm going to have to reorder this. Um, Yu is a lot of fun and I liked it a lot. It was just that I came away with it not feeling too strongly about everything. The ending had me tearing up a little bit, but like the overall series, I feel like was fine. I feel like Kuwabara was a lot of wasted potential. Um, I would have liked to see Hiei and Kurama, my mistake, explored a little bit more than they were in just the final arcs. Um, I think Yusuke is a pretty cool character. I just again wish that there was more done with him, and it definitely feels like it could have used one more arc to really be special. But for now, it's gonna stay at the top of B. It might move up into A. We'll see. Let's do the Dragon Ball family. Original Dragon Ball, pretty easy A. A lot of fun. Whole time I was reading it, it had me smiling. It's just a feel good series. I loved my whole time with it. Um, some of parts of it do age badly, but that's just how older manga is gonna go. And the ending also feels like the ending to a manga, not like Naruto into Naruto Shippuden. it feels like it is the end of a part of a story. And Dragon Ball Z just feels like a sequel series rather than a continuation, which it's a continuation too, but you know, Dragon Ball Z, pretty easy high A as well. These might move up too. I'm gonna have to see how my S tier shakes out. Um, I love the Boo arc. I think a lot of people are really mean to the Boo arc, but it's a lot of fun as someone who enjoys original Dragon Ball a lot. Um, I would probably say overall, between the two of them, I might enjoy C like the slightest bit more, but the difference isn't like there's not gonna be another series between them, I don't think, wherever they end up. Dragon Ball Super. I don't think I want to give it F. We'll give it C for now, but a lot of what it does is not interesting to me. It is not exciting. A lot of what it does is just retell stories that the Dragon Ball and Z already have. Um, the Tournament of Power, reading it is a little more fun, but watching it was a pain. It's one of the only series I've actually watched, and I just had a lot of free time. But if I didn't, I'm sure I would have hated having to sit through some of those episodes. The Zamasu arc is just like really, really, really unsurmountable fuck up at the end. I don't know how they messed that up that bad. Uh, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think the Moro arc is fun. I think the Granola arc is really boring until the last like 5 minutes. Um, and I don't know where to count the movies. Obviously, Broly's a really good time. Superhero is pretty good time. I haven't even seen it. I'm not gonna lie. Um, it's fine. It's just it's not good. I would not if someone liked Super or someone liked Original and Z and they wanted more Dragon Ball content, I would tell them to go watch fan animations or like fan creations rather than continue their journey in Super. It's just I'm really not the biggest fan of it. While we're talking about stuff I'm not the biggest fan of, I think I'm gonna have to get this out of the way at some point. I hate Naruto. I don't know what it is. I don't like Naruto. Naruto's a fine enough character. I think at sometimes he is the quintessential too optimistic of a hero. I like when he's sad because it feels like he's a real person. Um, the only reason I don't have this series in F tier is because of Sasuke and Itachi's relationship. Um, and how that all shakes out, and Rock Lee and Shikamaru. Those are the only four reasons that this is not an F tier. I'm being a lot meaner to it than I should. I do like Gara. I like a lot of characters in it. Gara's cool. Um, Tsunade is an actual cool character when Kishimoto isn't being Kishimoto, but you know how it goes. Um, it's fine. It just feels way too long, and honestly, it might be the people who have overhyped it my entire life that when I eventually sat down to read it, it was underwhelming. Uh, and that might just be a fault of the circumstances. It might even move out of C tier into B tier. We'll see how the whole list goes. I don't know. It is it just makes me angry. um let's knock out the big 3 while we're here. Bleach. I'm going to have to put Bleach in F tier, which sucks because I there are a lot of parts of Bleach that I really like. Um, but the fights eventually just become the same thing over and over. Um, the one of the main examples of Bleach being bad I can think of is during the Fullbringer arc, which I actually personally like a lot until like the very end, is Ichigo's entire life is crumbling and you're really in it and you're like, wow, this is insane. How is he going to get out of this? And he goes to his teacher and then his teacher pulls in and he bounces off her boobs and like his eyes go wide and it's this crazy back and forth they have, and it's just such a headache. It's so stupid. Kubo just loves drawing women like that. Ichigo's cool, the art is really good, but God, I think the Thousand Year Blood War is the only time I've legitimately hated reading something. During those last like 25-ish chapters, pretty much everything after the Mayuri fight, I was absolutely hating my time with the series. It was not good. Um, in One Piece, we're gonna put it in S tier, and it'll probably be on the lower end just because of what I value. So much of One Piece is really special to me. So many of the characters are really special to me. Luffy's incredible the whole way through. My favorite character is Marco. I don't know why. He's just really I like Marco a lot. And Doflamingo is one of my favorite villains ever written. But at the same time, this series really, as good as it's still, I would still say the entirety of Post Time Skip is better than Naruto and Bleach, probably put together. But as good as it is, it still has its problems. I hate how Oda draws women. I hate what Oda does to women. I hate what Oda has done to most of these Straw Hats post time skip. Sanji gets this incredible arc where you feel so much more connected to him as a character, and the whole time he is a 21-year-old man marrying a 16-year-old. Why do you have to do that? No reason to do that. Um, Zoro post time skip has not had a single moment other than cutting Pika in half that's made me feel anything. His fight against King made me feel nothing. It was cool. He got stronger and he used the swords that he's using, but it's just okay. And I would like to see this cast of characters who he's made me love for 500 chapters straight do something. So many of them haven't done anything post time skip. It's kind of losing its luster as it goes on. Egghead, right now, the arc we're in, Egghead is a lot of fun. And I'm really liking the parts where Egghead is happening, but so many of my problems is just that most of Egghead has not happened on Egghead. We've had the Garf stuff, we've had the Blackbeard stuff, we've had the Law, the kid stuff, the Sabo. It's just there's it feels like Oda has so much he wants to do, and for some reason he didn't just put it in between Wano and Egghead. I'm going on too much of a tangent, but that is my justification for having it at the bottom of S tier because it just has its problems. I hate how Robin and Nami are being done right now. It's just not. I hate it so much. G Sweet Home. This is cute. This is really, really cute. I think I'm gonna put it top of B tier. It's just a nice, good time. It's not trying to take itself too seriously. It's a manga about a kitten, but it has some nice messages about found family and everything. It's really cute. The ending made me cry. It's just, if you want something to just make you feel good in your heart, something that is the chapters are really short, the art is really cute. It's about kittens, whatever. I just it's cute and I need some more stuff to be positive about, so I'm going to keep it on the list. Let's go something else that I can't necessarily rate the same. Red Cat Ramen is really fun. It's also really fun. Bottom of B tier, I think, because it's not too crazy. I'm gonna put Yu Yu above that actually. It's just a cute manga about a cat's running a ramen store. That's about it. There's nothing crazy there. The art is whatever, but it's fun. Things are allowed to just be like fun and cute for the sake of it. They don't need to have groundbreaking stuff to be likable. They don't need to be long running or anything like that. Um, these two are both pretty comfortably in B tier. Having them above Naruto and Bleach and Dragon Ball Super is hilarious to me. Let's do Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, I think people are really mean to Demon Slayer. I liked my time with it a lot. It was one of the first things I've ever read. I read JJK 1, I think it was Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece and then Demon Slayer, if I'm not mistaken. I think I did read Demon Slayer after One Piece. Yeah. Um, and I think that if it was not as popular as it was, it wouldn't be as hated as it was. I think a lot of people are way too mean to it. I think Demon Slayer is a lot of fun, and I think it has some heart. I think the art is really good, and I think people's problems with it are superficial, and there are just a lot of people who want to hate the most popular thing, which, whatever. Who cares? Dan to Dan. See, this is a problem because Dan to Dan's world building and its ability systems and a lot of its characters are really fun, but every other chapter is just the main guy and the main girl having a will they won't they conversation, and it is tiring after a while. I think Dan to Dan could be a lot more special if this stupid romance subplot hadn't still been going on for 100 chapters. It has been way too long for this to still be happening. But the fights are incredible. Um, weekly for being weekly, the art is outstanding. Same with Blue Lock. I think that pretty comfortably puts it in A tier. We'll see how I feel about that because a lot of it did have. It's so weird to rank for me because I really liked a lot of it, but it's also just ooh, it feels so modern shonen jumpy, and we'll get into that later. Let's go with some lighter stuff. Rooster Fighter. It's the art's really good. I've only been reading this physically, actually. Only when it comes to the States have I been finding the volumes and picking them up and reading them. The story's nothing incredible. It's just supposed to be like a funny gag manga, and I think it succeeds at that. It's really fun, pretty comfortable B tier. It's not mind blowing, but it's a fun read. Senyu. I had watched the first two seasons of this because the first two seasons actually take 2 hours to watch, and then I read all the manga. It is one of my personal favorite series I've ever read because it's just a lot of fun and it's funny. But if I'm being objective, I think I'd probably put it around here. But since this is my tier list, I'm probably gonna put it around here. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Yotsuba is really cute. I had a smile on my face the whole time I was reading this. I think I can pretty comfortably put it above Blue Lock, actually. And again, we'll reorder everything at the end, but yeah, Yotsuba's adorable. Um, has a lot of heart. Has some really cool art too, which you wouldn't be expecting, but it has a lot of like really interesting ways of displaying stuff. I like Yotsuba a lot. Uh, yeah, good series. Attack on Titan. This series is really interesting because it houses one of my five favorite characters of all time, um, Armin, but it also has some really big problems. It does feel like it slightly just loses the plot about halfway through, but I think it gets way too much flack online, especially for the ending, which isn't even that bad. But I do like it a lot. I think I'm gonna go with the highest B tier for now. We'll see. We'll see. I like it a lot though. And this list is just how I'm feeling right now. A lot of it could honestly change just like here and there. It's really really subject to change. Okay, let's go with some of the stuff that I've only watched. Let's go. I haven't watched a lot. I am much better at reading stuff to take in information and remember it. So we'll go with that. Ava. I, Ooh, Ava's really pretty. It's classic. Everyone loves it. But I don't really start feeling anything crazy towards it until the last few episodes. I haven't seen the Rebuilds movie. I've only seen End of Evangelion. Um, yeah, I think I'm okay with that for it. Ray's my favorite character, and I feel like she gets explored enough, but I kind of don't like a lot of the characters in the show, and I know that's kind of the point, but it's, eh, I mean, it's good. B tier is by no means anything bad. I think I might have to redefine the tiers by the end of this, based on how things are looking. Um, but yeah, I think I'm okay with about that for now. Mob Psycho S, easy S, easy S. Made me cry like 4 times. The animation director is just out of his mind with some of the scenes. Not the animation director, but like the director for the series, who gets the animation directors for each episode. Um, and God, one is just really good at writing certain things. He is really good at writing certain things, and this is just a really good series. If you haven't seen it, watch it, and you'll get it. It's incredible. Speaking of one, we'll go One Punch Man. I think this is gonna go around Rooster Fighter tier because the first 40-ish chapters, I really don't like it that much, and the only times I really was liking the series was Monster Garo, and then that had a kind of unfulfilling ending, and it's still ongoing, but it just feels like so many of the stakes are like lower now. And I know the stakes are low anyway because he's One Punch Man and he one punches people, but I mean, the stakes feel so low now. Like, anyone can take care of it. But who knows? Maybe I'll change my opinion on this as things develop. It's just not, like, I liked it a lot. I love Metal Bat, and Garo, and I do like Saitama a lot. But, like, it's less special to me than Mob, if that makes sense. Um, let's go with series about people who are just overpowered. Mashal and Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling, I know it's not technically a manga, but I'm putting it here because it's close and it has an anime, so whatever. Um, Solo Leveling was the first 40th chapter until he gets his special power. I'm trying not to spoil anime people. I wasn't too invested in this because everything felt like it was the same thing just happening over and over, a la Bleach. But once that happens, I found myself enjoying this a lot. I really couldn't put it down for a few days straight. Um, a lot of fun, kind of stupid. I'm bad at reading manhwa. I learned because the way the paneling works and how you have to just scroll down and there's no actual paneling and there's just like sections of like art. That was hard for me to read, but I liked it a lot. Um, I think it's about One Punch Man level for me. I think they're both about the same good. And while we're here, before I move on, I'm just gonna redefine these tiers real quick because it looks like this list is gonna be a bit top heavy if I don't. We'll make S just cream of the crop. A is really good. B will be like pretty good, like alright. C is like maybe we'll do C as average. And then C is your average middle of the road, and then F is stuff that I think I have more negative opinions on than positive, which is insane because that means that this is my F tier now. Oh man. Well, we'll see what happens. Um, Dr. Stone, I liked it a lot. It was a pretty good time. It has some really high peaks, but overall, nothing that stands out too much. A lot of the time when they start going over what they're doing to build their specific things, I kind of I'm not exactly taking in information there, which is fine, but that's just how I feel about it. Maybe we'll put it here for now because I definitely would say I like these series more. But Doctor Stone's still a really good time. Like these are all still really good times. They're just mediocre. I think if that makes sense. Oh, I totally forgot I was gonna do Mashal. Esther, one of my favorite things I've ever read. I've recently read it, and Mashal is if Rock Lee was an MC, and that makes me really happy. I heard some people didn't like the ending. I thought the ending was really good. I loved my entire time with Mashal. I didn't want to put it down. It was incredible. I think it is pretty easily in my top 5 now, which is insane because I just read it like recently. And maybe it's recency bias talking, but I don't know. It's been about 2 weeks, maybe 3 since I've read it. And it's still up there, and I still feel that strongly about it. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Okay, I'm gonna have to tackle the JoJo's eventually, so we're gonna go through all 8 real quick. And I'm not doing part 9 because there's only a few chapters out right now, and I can't really form an opinion on it. Part 1, way better than people give it credit for. It's nothing incredible. I think it's about here, maybe. But it's a good time. It's short. It's sweet. It's whatever. Maybe there. Whatever. Like I said, I'll go back and order everything. Part 2. Had a lot of fun reading this one. Uh, I think I'd put it about here. I love part 2. Um, but it's really good. It's a lot of fun. The Pillarmen are good villains. Wamu's a really, really good villain. I like Wamu a lot. I really like Wamu. And I like how evil Cards is for no reason. Part 3, the anime sucks and the manga is a lot shorter and inoffensive. But overall, I think part 3 would probably genuinely be down here because it's just the stand. If you don't know what a stand is, if you never heard of JoJo's before, you'll watch it and you'll be like, man, that's pretty good. But if you know what you're getting into when you start watching or reading JoJo, you're going to get there and you're going to be like, that's it. Part 4, S tier. Loved every second of it. I've never had more fun watching or reading something in my life. I originally watched parts 1 through 5, and then I've gone back and read parts 1, 2, and 3. I haven't read part 4. I haven't reread it yet, or part 5. But maybe I'll do that soon. But I still feel very confident in saying part 4 is one of my favorite parts and series ever. I think it's so much fun. The characters are so good. The powers are so fun. Kira's a really good villain. Even Akira's a good villain. It's just such a feel good time. It's so good. Part 5, people are too mean to it. That being said, it's not incredible. Oh, but people are too mean to it. I don't know. I know people think Giorno's boring. I think he's just autistic. I know people think that none of the characters matter, like Fugo does nothing, and he doesn't, but I don't know. Maybe I'm easy to please. Maybe I was so enraptured by the first 4 parts that I ended up really liking part 5 more than I should have. I don't care. I like it. It's fun. Part 6. Really good time. A lot of good characters. Uh Actually incredible ending for the original universe. Uh Emporio is my favorite character from part 6, and I forgot to mention this, but part 5 houses another one of my favorite 5 characters of all time. That's Doppio. I can't really explain that one. I just really like him. Mm, part 7. People call this one the best one for a reason. Like I said, I'm going to be reordering this stuff. Part 7 is incredible. Part 8, it's in my top 5. Part 8, I think, is the best part. I was blown away by the creativity at work, and I can only name one part that I think was kind of subpar. It's like the deep dark blue lagoon or whatever. The zombie stand was stupid, but everything else was just. Even though the ending did feel a little anticlimactic, maybe a little rushed, it was still incredible. And that's our JoJo lightning round done. Um, Kaiju number 8. Yeah, yeah, nah. Mm. Mm. The art's incredible. I don't feel too much about any of the characters. The premise is fun. I don't feel too much about the plot. The action's good. It's very modern shonen-y. That's about all I got to say. Let's address the elephant in the room. This is Onani Master Kurosawa. Uh, it is the best and worst of the human condition. I felt disgusted for the first 25 chapters, and I felt uplifted in the final 5. If you haven't read it, and you've read enough stuff that you feel like you're okay with handling, like, the worst of Animanga's offerings, pick it up, check it out. It might be F tier. It could be S tier. How am I feeling about it today? I'm feeling F tier. I'm glad I read it, but it's F tier. That's all I have to say. um, let's see. Let's get some light stuff out of the way, because I know some people are going to be curious about this. A lot of these. Yeah, let's get these lighter ones out of the way here. Akane Banashi, a lot of fun. Modern shonen that doesn't have a lot of shonen tropes. It's really cute. Shout out Radmap. Me too. Secret of the Alien Girl. This just released its second to last chapter. I picked it up on a whim, and it is shocking. If you haven't read it, I'm not gonna say anything more. I recommend checking it out. It's going to be only about 20-ish chapters. I recommend reading it. It's short enough. Pretty effective. For a short story, I think I can put it about there. And P6, Esther. And I don't feel bad about that. If this series wasn't axed and it got like maybe even 40 more chapters, it might legitimately be one of my favorite series of all time. They currently have, the author currently has a new series running out in Jump called Magical Girl Tsubame, which is also a really good time. But P6 is truly special to me. It is 70 chapters, and it is really, really, really good. The art is incredible, and the story is, everything about it is really touching. It's really touching. Toilet Bound. The art is maybe top 3 out of on this entire list. I didn't really absorb a lot of the story once it got to the last like 20-ish chapters. I think I could probably summarize 10% of this manga story, and I will have to reread it soon. um, so I don't feel like I can give a super fair rating based on that. So I am going to put it around this tier. It's about the same color red. That's funny. It's got a lot of heart. I remember liking my time with it a lot, and for that, I can definitely say if you're looking for something beautiful to read, go for that. Okay, Gachikuda. S tier. The art is incredible. I am in love with Rudo as a character. I think he is very well explored and written, and it's still ongoing. I think the only downside to this manga is that the author draws a lot of Mori Calliope fan art, and that upsets me. I really, 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 really do love the series, though. Very easy S tier for me. Sakamoto Days, another easy S tier. Modern shonen without modern shonen tropes. Maybe my favorite fights out of anything on this entire list. Probably. Yeah, I feel pretty confident in saying that. Yeah, it's just incredible. It's incredible. If you are looking for a manga to read and you haven't read it, do yourself a favor, read it. And also gatekeep it from your meathead friends. They're not going to appreciate it as much as you will. Alright, Rurouni Kenshin. Watsuki aside, I'm gonna have to put it pretty high, unfortunately. I really like this series, and I don't like saying that because its author needs to go to hell. But the series is really good, so I'm very conflicted. Never buy this series. That's all I'll say. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Kenshin is a good series, as much as that sucks to admit. Alright, and then it looks like all we have left is the Dark Trio, which is definitely a very real thing. I've separated Chainsaw Man Part 1 and 2 because I feel like they're distinct enough, a la JoJo's or like Dragon Ball 2Z. Um, we'll do Chainsaw Man first. Original Chainsaw Man, probably S tier. We'll do S tier. I think I can give it S tier pretty comfortably. Part 2, about here for right now. About here for right now. It's cooking. It's on its way. It feels like it's only about half done. Maybe even a quarter. It's good though. It's on its way. It is really on its way up. And I feel like it could eventually be as good as part 1. But it has some big shoes to fill, and it hasn't filled them yet. Hell's Paradise. Let's go right under Dragon Ball for Hell's Paradise. Yeah, maybe S tier. Maybe we'll order stuff and see how that goes. Hell's Paradise is incredible. It's just incredible. It's a good time. The art's amazing. The art is really good. The art's probably the best out of the Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Hell's Paradise, quote unquote trio that doesn't exist. Um, Hell's Paradise art is amazing, and it feels like it's the perfect length too. You feel a lot of connection to the characters. The power system is nice. It's kind of refreshing to not just be like, I have to get stronger, I have to get stronger, I have to get stronger, but there's actually like something else going on there. Yeah, really good. Some people have problems with the ending. I just think people expect too much from certain series, and they expect the endings to be as good as like original Dragon Ball or something like that. I don't know. I think people expect too much from a lot of series like this. It's really good. In Jujutsu Kaisen, this is really tough because personally, I would say it's one of the best things I've ever read, one of my favorite things I've ever read. But God, do I have some problems with it. Most of the calling games, it's just fights. Uh, no real plot development there. Gege doesn't really care about his characters. It seems like he started out with a really big passion for creating his manga, and the weekly Shonen Jump schedule got to him, which I can definitely sympathize with. It seems hellish, but I still have to rate the manga as it is. I can't give him the benefit of the doubt there or anything. And the second Nah I'd Win happens, that next chapter, I instantly realized, oh man, he wants this series to be over. Like bad. He doesn't care about this series anymore. And I can't blame him, but it's sad to see because Shibuya is so incredible and special. And I don't think it was a fluke. I just think he thought he'd have more of a break afterwards, which I wish he could. I think if he gets another series after Jujutsu Kaisen, I hope it's either monthly or he gets to space his chapters out like Chainsaw Man Part 2. Because I feel like if Gege was given a workable human schedule, then he could really make something incredible. But as Jujutsu Kaisen stands right now, I think I'm still gonna put it in S tier. I really like Yuji. There's another one of my favorite characters of all time. Yuji is so much fun, and Yuji as a protagonist is just, he's incredible. I'm also including Zero in this because whatever. What's the difference? And that doesn't bring it up or down. That's just why it's not on here. All right, let's get to ordering. I think Part 8's probably going to be top. Part 8, I think I might be able to comfortably say that's my favorite thing I've ever read. I think I might move JJK into my top 5. Die Dark's moving down. One Piece is here. Part 7 and Part 4 are interchangeable. Sakamoto Days goes below that. And I feel good about this S tier as it stands. Let's talk about these three moving into S tier. I really like Dragon Ball. I'm thinking back on it, and I really like Dragon Ball a lot. It's really good. I think Dragon Ball Z can go in S tier as a treat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's make it a top 15. And let's break our promise because, yeah, I think I enjoyed Hell's Paradise more than original Dragon Ball. And just, yeah, let's just make it a top 15. For sanctity's sake, maybe Dragon Ball is an S tier, but I think I'm liking this as a top 15 right now. Senyu Part 6. Kanabanashi really high. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Part 6 also very high. Yatsuba might move down. Blue Lock's still a lot of fun. Attack on Titan's really high. I think I'm gonna move that down a whole tier actually. Part 2 can go right there. Blue Lock, just for U20, I think is gonna get one of the biggest bumps we're gonna see. I think I feel good about that A tier, mostly. Let's see, this B tier. Yeah, I was too mean to Yu. I was definitely too mean to Yu earlier. Yatsuba's also gonna come down to the to this tier. I think part 1, One Punch Man and Solo Leveling are gonna be the gatekeepers. Because I all like them a lot, but I wouldn't put them in A tier. And I wouldn't put anything else in A tier either. That's why it's down here. These are all about C tier. Yeah. I think I nailed this one actually. I think I did actually nail this one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling good about that. Let's see. Dragon Ball Super is the bottom of the tier list. Bleach moves up because I like the art more. No, Bleach pisses me off, man. Bleach is the bottom of the tier list. Man. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, okay. You know what? Sure. Let's do that. I'm feeling pretty good about this tier list. What's in my top 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If it ends up part 7, I feel good about that. Yeah. Alright. Yep. I'm feeling pretty good about this, actually. Cool.